So we have a new TNA X Division Championship, and this is it. What's up, YouTubers? This is Hazard F5 back with a brand new video, and today I'm going to be talking about the new TNA X Division Championship that debuted at Genesis on Sunday. And right from the get-go, guys, this thing does not look good. Some of the design choices that went into this really don't work well together, and quality-wise, it's also a dip compared to the previous version. Now, the base design itself remains the same. It was designed by Hellfire Designs over on Instagram, who does fantastic custom designs. I've spoken to him several times in the past. The design itself remains the same. However, the stylistic choices that have been made for this one compared to the previous nickel version by Z Bros Belts don't work well together at all, in my opinion. So this version is gold plated, and I use that term relatively loosely because these are the best images, or the best quality images, that we have of the belt so far. And the gold doesn't pop very well. It's not very bright, it's not very vibrant, it's not very shiny. And that's what you want from any championship belt, but certainly from a gold belt. And it's kind of dark and murky, to be honest, for a gold-plated belt. Now, that's not helped by the fact that the strap itself is an orange strap, or almost a burnt orange strap, which is so close in shade to gold that even with a vibrant 24-karat gold set of plates, it would flush that out quite a bit. And those two combined doesn't really work. Now, I'm of the assumption that Moose has had input into what he wanted this belt to look like. As with Moose being Moose, he went ahead and commissioned this belt directly from a belt maker without going through TNA management, something that he has pissed off TNA management with before, when he went ahead and had a bootleg TNA big gold belt made several years ago, before they decided to swap that out with an official replica on a re-leathered strap. But overall, the aesthetic with this just doesn't work. The pale gold blends too much in with the burnt orange strap. The etching on the plates here are nowhere near as clean as the one that they used previously, which certainly, when you are having two tones of colors like gold and orange shared on a championship, they have to be very well detailed plates in order for them to stand out. And the combination of the color of the plates, the color of the strap, and the quality of the plates just does not blend together to make an aesthetically pleasing looking belt, which, from what I've seen online, is the general consensus for this variation of the X Division Championship. Now, like I said earlier, I'm assuming that Moose had quite a bit of input, whether it's the red Moose logo in the snap boxes, or the system wording in the snap boxes, and the color scheme and everything else. And when someone contacts you to make something, if they say, this is what I want and this is how I want it, it's your job to then produce that. Now, you can suggest to them, I don't think it'll look that good. You might be better off doing this, or maybe we could tweak it here. And sometimes they listen, sometimes they do not. And that is out of your control. However, the quality of what you're producing, that very much is in your control. Now, this belt was produced in conjunctions with snaps and straps. The plates themselves, I would bet money on being foreign, being Pakistan, which, nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of companies who produced high quality plates now from Pakistan. However, wherever these ones came from, these are not that quality. If you look here just at the TNA logo on the center of the main plate, this is from a video that Moose posted, and you can see sort of the bubbling of the plate where the plating and the etching is uneven just under the T and the N of the TNA logo. And these being Pakistan plates would make a lot of sense when it comes to the gold plating. So there is a wide variety of Pakistan plate producers over there that have an issue with their gold plating and their inconsistencies with it. They could produce two identical set of plates, one after the other, both gold plated, and you could look at the plates side by side, and one set of plates will be considerably brighter, considerably more yellow, for lack of a better term, than the other one, which looks a lot paler, which is exactly what we're seeing here, really. It's a lot more sort of paler, flushed out gold. The strap was produced by Lucky Rose Leather on Instagram. They've been around for a while. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of their work. They've been doing leather for belts for about 4 years now. And considering the amount of time that they've been doing leather work, comparing it to the quality of their work, I do think that the quality should be further along at this point after doing it for 4 years. Leather is by no means easy, but there are people out there that haven't been doing leather work for as long. And as far as craftsmanship, I would certainly put above this. For example, if you look here at the cut going around the left-hand side plates, the cut at the top of the side plates is considerably wider than the cut at the bottom. The bottom left-hand corner of the inner left side plate, the edge is nearly touching the beveled line at the bottom, but there's a considerable gap at the top. And on the outer left-hand side plates, you can see nearly the full shell tooling by the time that the plate curves downwards into the semicircular arch on the left, compared to the bottom, which is tight, covering up the camouflage shell tooling all the way up until it indents and then goes into the curve. Now, that might be a style choice, which is absolutely fine, but that was one that would have been made by the people producing the belt. I can't see Moose saying specifically that that's something that he would have wanted. So someone who's been doing leather for a while, I would have imagined it would have been more central. Similar to how it is on the right-hand side plates. As I mentioned earlier, the belt features a red Moose logo in the female snap box, along with the system wording tooled into the male snap boxes. It features a croc backing, quite a nice red and black croc backing. Downside to croc backing, and I've always said this, is that it limits maneuverability on the strap and makes the strap generally quite stiff, and you could definitely tell that on the pay-per-view on Sunday. Overall, this is a big miss for me. The quality of the gold, the way it blends too much with the orange, it just doesn't work well together. It's not as bad as the old oval icy green X Division Championship, but I would take the old oval blue X Division Championship over this one as far as the order in which I dislike the X Division Championship belts. Just isn't for me. I'm sure there'll be some people who like it. I'm sure the people who produced it are happy with it, which, you know what, that's their prerogative. Sadly, the person who runs the belt company that produces this belt doesn't like anyone else having an opinion on his belts unless those opinions are positive. One of those, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all types, which when it comes to reviews and things of that nature, everyone apparently has to like the same things or say nothing, which is, you know, how communication works. I commented on a video a few years ago. It was just a random Indie Federation video where they were introducing their new company championship. And I just commented saying that I wasn't a fan because the outline is just taken from the AEW World title. It's been stretched out like a steamroller and has had a bunch of nasty filler thrown on with a bunch of stones and a new logo, which is exactly what you're looking at here. I've simply described what I see. And the guy was not a fan, went off on a huge tangent. Then a little while later, he contacted Glickers on Instagram. For those of you who don't know, Glickers is a custom wrestling belt designer, very similar to Hellfire Designs, and wanted to know if he could use one of his designs. And Glicker responded much like, well, it's one of my favorite designs, so for me to let it go, because you lose the licensing and all that kind of stuff, it would cost you. And the guy's response was, nah, screw that. I was just being nice. I'm just going to steal it, take it, change a couple of bits, and then use it myself. I'm not paying anything. Which, when it comes to licensing, doing right by designs and things of that nature, quite frankly, if you're going to pull a stunt like that, don't be whining, complaining that people either call you out on it or comment on the poor quality of your product. But anyway, guys, that's it from me and this video. Let me know what you think of the new TNA X Division Championship. I fully assume they'll drop it the second that Moose loses the championship. Overall, much prefer the previous version. Vibrant gold plates on a black strap would work, but the gold on the orange, nah, absolutely not. Doesn't work for me. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this belt in the comment section below, and I'll catch you as always next time.